Alright, I'm covering 2.6.1, which is wiretapping. So for as long as there has been a way to communicate with others, there has always been people who would like to and care to listen and grab information from what you have to say to others. People have always been intercepting telegraphs or like listening in on like party lines for early telephones. And yeah, like within 10 years of like the first 10 years of when people started using telephones, people were trying to get information out of them and use wiretapping. In 1928, the Supreme Court deemed that wiretapping was not unconstitutional, but Congress could ban it. And in 1934, the Communications Act states no person could intercept and divulge a message with no exception for law enforcement agencies. Not that that really stopped anyone, because federal and state law enforcement agencies and local police still did naughty intercepting and stuff like that, what have you. FBI wiretapped calls between defendant and her attorneys during her trial, for example. People have bugged and wiretapped members of Congress and the Supreme Court, and there's lots of typos in here. Basically, everyone was being monitored and wiretapped, and no one was really getting punished or slapped on the wrist for that and what have you, despite like the against wiretapping and information interception. 1968, the Supreme Court ruled that intercepting telephone conversations without a court order violated the Fourth Amendment. And in 1968, Congress explicitly allowed wiretapping and electronic surveillance by law enforcement agencies with a court order. Despite all the controversies, surprise, all the wiretapping continued, especially during Vietnam War. Anybody involved, like journalists and government officials, employees, were people typically affected by wiretapping during the Nixon administration. Even in 1998, LA police admitted that they've been improperly using wiretaps. So in conclusion, governments need a court order to legally intercept and record content of a telephone call for a criminal investigation. Not that that really stops anyone, as far as we know. It's probably happening a lot. And this request must be justified, and the wiretap can only be allowed for like so long, for the duration needed. Long story short, wiretapping stuff is messed up. Yeah. So that's my part. Have fun, guys. Taking notes. Yeah.